Hello, this is Sportmentary with Week 7 Bomber Recap, and joining me from Winnipeg is the Comish. How you doing, guy?
Joey.
Oh, we're on the kids bandwagon, are we?
I don't know if I'm on his bandwagon, but at least we got a win.
Yeah, it's isn't it a lot easier doing these things when there's a win?
Yeah, but it was a win against probably the worst defense in the
Well,
whole
that's
CFL.
what I wanted to say. I didn't want to pop anyone's balloon or anything. But I was feeling the same thing as you. Been reading the Free Press this week, and they're ready to anoint this guy a savior of the Bombers. The kid's played one game, a good game. We have to give the kid a lot of credit for hanging in there, right?
I'll give him. He played a good second half.
He did a great second half, but that's what you would expect for a guy to learn as he goes. You had to know the first half would be shaky. But I do like the guy's poise and resolve coming out there in the second half. I got to give him that credit. It wouldn't be fair to him not to.
Listen, all credit to him, and with credit to him, I think you got to give some credit to Gary Crowton and Paul LaPolice. They made another key move this week aside from putting Elliott as starting quarterback. They shifted Labatt. I still wish we had Brendan Labatt. That's why I think about him every day. But they shifted Hinok Muamba to middle linebacker.
This is a little off topic. I don't know why I'm doing it, but what is that ex-Bomber who now plays on the Eagles? Is it the Eagles?
Yeah, Philip Hunt.
Kudos to the Bombers, eh? They got a mention on ESPN last night, so I was kind of happy. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I had to mention that.
Yeah, what did they say about him? I didn't see that.
My God, look all this talent coming out of the CFL. Specifically, this guy, guy had 2 sacks or 2 rushes. I think he caused a fumble. Saying this is another CFL talent in the defensive position that's panning out. And mentioned that he played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and had a clip of him, a little video clip of the guy.
Well, he was there for a short time, but he was good. I'll tell you, he knew how to get to the ball.
Yeah, I just love when the Big Blue is mentioned in the big game, don't you? It's anyway, that's a little off topic. I just thought I had to throw that in sometime tonight. Back to the Bombers. I don't want to spend too much time on recap, okay? Because we know the Bombers the defense was out of this world.
That's where I gotta agree with you. They were ball hawks. They forced the issue. They forced those fumbles.
They won the game. These were not mistakes. Those guys were vultures in that game, man.
You know who the next guy to go to the NFL will be?
Who's that?
It's going to be number 96, Alex Hall. He was the one who caused 2 of the fumbles, and he's a player. He's for real.
Well, if he has any inclination of getting to the big league, then he's going to continue to have a great season, I'd hope. But this is the type of Bomber defense that you and I grew up with. Okay, they're getting close to that. They've shown some signs this year and then fell apart. But this was a complete game. This is a game that when you and I had season tickets at college, these are the games that we live for. It was the defense, right? I mean, they had Clements and they had a couple of good guys on offense here and there, but it was the defense that you and I lived for.
That's true. Long live Tyrone Jones, James West.
Jeez. Was Delbert Fowler? Does that ring a bell?
Delbert Fowler. But the fact is, you know what? You're right. The defense looked much better. The offense, well, you can't go wrong when you throw for 406 yards in your debut. And Chad Simpson had 86 yards. Rushing the ball.
As I said, there's kudos all around, even to the coaching staff, and that pains me.
It does pain you.
But you have to give credit when there's credit. I just want to temper our optimism going into which is now the biggest game of the season. If they can beat BC at home and end 3-5 on their homestand, that will be a big test. That will give me confidence that this team has a chance this year. There's 10 games would be remaining after that, and at 3-5, I think you have a legit shot if you can knock off BC. But I mean, that's a hell of a test. Let's admit this one. The Bombers, this could be embarrassing on Friday.
I have to agree with you. It's going to go one of two ways. It's not going to be a close game. Either the Bombers are going to rout BC or vice versa. I can't see. The problem with Elliott's game is that there were at least 3 passes that were in the hands of Hamilton defensive backs that should have been caught, and then a couple other ones that if the defensive back had made the right break on the ball, they're going for 6 the other way. So you got to really temper his performance with A, who he was playing against, and B, the fact that they don't have film on Joey Elliott. They don't know what to expect from him.
Well, they do now.
They have one game, and you know what? I guess we'll see how swift BC is and how quick they can pick up on his tendencies.
As I say, and also you have to say this, Elliott's got one more week behind him. He says he has a week of a starter, during practice. And
going in with the confidence of a victory.
The confidence of a victory, and then also the ability with a victory and not looking back and saying we got the W, to go into the game films and see, okay, if this is what I did wrong. As much as you say some of those calls were close, maybe the kid can look at it and say, well, if only I would have done this. This wasn't the smartest move, and I have to be smarter with the ball. So I say that it can go either way for Elliott. The problem is I still think it's really going to come down to the defense again. If the defense they're ball hawks, if they cause a couple fumbles, I don't know if you paid attention to this, and I know that the announcers did at the game. Holy cow, when that defense started getting on a roll in the second half, I could hardly hear the announcers speak. Seriously. That stadium was out of control.
Yeah, the stadium, it's quite the atmosphere there. The fans really know how to bring it and know when. They know when to bring it. It's not just cheering for the sake of cheering. They know the right time. But how many yards do you think Henry Burris passed for that game?
Oh, God. Have no idea. 200 yards?
368 yards.
Hey, what?
Yeah.
368 yards. When?
He was 17-25 for 368 yards.
Well, then it came down, as you said, to those 6 turnovers.
Yeah, that's exactly. And the Bombers. So I just don't think Travis Lulay, the BC quarterback, will be as
how do you say his name?
Generous with the ball.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. I excuse me for sneezing. How do you say his name?
Travis Lulay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood there.
Here's the other thing. Another special mention has to go to Mike Renaud. He punted perhaps his best game in Winnipeg. He was punting out of this world.
Well, I don't think it's the punting that's going to win them the games. Sorry about that. I know you're
punting. The punting got them out of some interesting holes, and
I think our friend Sweatpants is rubbing off on you. A little inside joke there. No, but seriously, punting good. That's all I'm going to talk about punters and kickers today. The defense is going to have to come up big.
Yeah, the defense, the special teams will also have their hands full against BC.
Of course, hopefully the offense has a good game plan. As I said, I can't say that I'm overly confident going into BC. On the other hand, I can't going into BC, playing BC at home. On the other hand, I don't think I can go totally the other way. This is a really tough one. Part of me is saying that the Bombers had the victory that they needed. And it's about time that they strung 2 victories in a row. And it's about time that they continued the CFL curse on the road. You know what I'm going to do here, Comish?
I can't believe I don't believe I can feel it coming, but I have to hear you say it.
42-18 Bombers.
Did you say what I think you just said?
I'm going 42-18 Bombers. I'm going to be a homer. I've been a little negative. I've been popping these Pepsids, Tums, Rolaids. You probably name a brand. I've been popping them because I've been so worked up. I said to myself, I got to be a little bit positive. I got to get this positive vibe to a Big Blue. 42-18. What the hell's that? Mojo.
That was my upset special sound effect.
Sound more like a crying baby at something.com. But anyway, 42-18 Blue Bombers.
Okay, well, you know what? It appears that you said you weren't going to drink the Kool-Aid. You drank the Kool-Aid. You're on the bandwagon. You're in too deep. You're in over your head. I can't go with you. I can't join you on this.
Come on, dude. They're sucking me in. They're sucking me in. You just finished saying it could go either way.
Yeah, but I said if it goes either way, it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. And I'm saying it's going to be a blowout. BC 36, Winnipeg 7.
What? 1 touchdown?
And you know what? I'm actually going to say the defense might get the touchdown.
I'm going to say this. That Lulu guy at quarterback, I hope they're calling him Lala at the end of the game.
Yeah, but you're talking about the defending Grey Cup champion.
You know what? Every dog has its day. And sometimes they're not good.
Well, Travis Lulay's having more than one.
So, do you say Lule? Rule? What are you saying? How's his name?
Lulay's having more than one good day, let me tell you.
Because I'm sorry for calling the guy whatever name I called him.
He's got a 100.3 quarterback rating. He's almost thrown for 2,000 yards in only 7 games.
Has he faced the Winnipeg Blue Bomber crowd?
You know what? He has faced them in the past, and
you know what I'm sensing here at Advertisement Field is this is a crowd that's been hungry, right? And you let a bunch of animals, and I'm not calling them animals, but just an analogy, animals out of the cage. The fans were just looking for that game to erupt, right? They're looking for that right game. And I think that they're going to come in on Friday night, and I think that there's going to be an atmosphere at the stadium. And I really hope that the players pick up on that, because I think that makes a difference. And I think everybody's expecting them to have a letdown game, including you. Everyone's expecting them, the media, to get blown out at home. And I think that the Lions are drinking that same Kool-Aid. I think that they see this as a pass-through game on their way to the next game. I really do.
I don't see the Lions as that kind of team. They're very well prepared.
It's human nature, dude. It's human nature. You're coming in with...
They've got a veteran offense. Their defense is the best in the league. And their quarterback gives the Bombers fits every year, because he's got that perfect combination. He can pass and he can scramble. And that's my fear is that
when we punt that first ball into the end zone for a rouge, who's going to have the last laugh then? No, but all kidding aside. Now, yeah, maybe
you broke your rule and you talked about punting. So.
Yeah, well, look. It's easier to be positive, negative, and you've taken the persona that I've had for a few weeks that I inherited from you, and I'm giving it right back. Mr. Negativity, blah 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 blah. You know, what is it? 36-7. No credit to our team. No credit. I'm gonna say.
Put two games together. I'll give you credit. Put two games together. Go out and beat the defending Grey Cup champs. I'll give you credit then.
Let's go ahead and do it. Seriously, 42-18. Isn't that what I said? 42-18?
Yeah.
That's a brave pick on my part. And it goes against everything that I've been this year.
Because you've been reading too many free press articles.
Well, I said, I still say Joey Elliott, I'm not going to anoint him yet. By the same token, though, I'm going to say we have one more week. And let's see how the kid has learned. Let's see what type of schemes that they come up with. And I say, this is a game to take advantage of at home. You've got to take advantage of this game. This game is huge. This game is, I think, bigger for the Blue Bombers than the Lions. This is a huge, huge game. This is the season right here. And if the boys don't lay it down and play like that, then I guess I'll have to come back next week with my tail between my legs. But I am going to be bold, and I'm going to put my faith in the Bombers this week.
Well, I wish that I could jump on the bandwagon with you, but I refuse to.
Well, anyway, I guess it takes two to tango, and we'll never agree on a score. We'll never agree. We can agree on some points, but as I said, I could have easily said this is going to be 55. Really, at the beginning of our show tonight, I said this is going to be 55-10 BC. That's the pick I was going with. And something told me that's the easy pick.
I actually think you've gone with the easier pick because, you know what, looking back at last year, Bombers were 3-0 against BC. Well, until the Grey Cup, but...
Well, two different teams, let's be honest, two different teams and going in different directions. But as I said, I'm sticking with my pick. I gotta live with it for a week. And I'm happy to do so. And we'll see. We'll talk hopefully over the weekend after a Friday night game and see where the chips fell and recap that. And it might be time for me to reevaluate. But as I said, if the Bombers are 3-5 with 10 games left, they got a legit shot, and they got to be thinking about that. They got to be licking their chops, and hopefully, what we saw in defense for the Bombers last week is just the beginning. Because we know when the Bombers defense, when a traditional Bombers defense gets rolling, there's very few teams that are able to beat that type of team.
Yeah, but I don't know why you're comparing this defense to the defense of the past.
I'm not comparing them to the great Bombers defense. So traditionally, when a good or great Winnipeg Blue Bomber defense is on a roll, they're a hard team to beat, right? So I'm saying hopefully they even improve upon last week because what they did was just phenomenal. And if they can keep that type of pressure up.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. They gave up 368 yards in the air, but they did force the 6 turnovers.
Know what? In the end, it doesn't really matter how many yards they gave up. And I know that that's silly. Because if you look at it the other way, Elliott got, 402 yards or something? 408 yards? I can't remember.
403, yeah. He was...
So, in the end, though, who made his yards count?
Well, it was tied going into the last 2 minutes of the game.
Right, so who made it count? who stretched out every yard for a point, and who capitalized on a Bombers defense that gave them the ball in pretty good field position and chances to score. So I look at it that way, regardless of Hamilton and what quality team they were. The Blue Bombers forced those turnovers, okay? Quality play on defense and a rookie quarterback. And this is why I say it's a big game. Regardless of Hamilton's lack of ability on defense, okay? You had a rookie quarterback that was able to play a phenomenal second half. It almost evens out the chips. Now you have a guy with a game on his belt, kind of have CFL action behind him, and who knows what can happen this week. I'll tell you what, though. If your prediction comes through, the guy's thrown like 4 or 5 picks and had a brutal game.
Well, I'm going to say he's due for a couple interceptions this game. There's no doubt about it.
Anyway, let's just we'll reconvene here in a few days.
I'm looking forward to it. I want to set the record straight. See, that's me on the Bomber train. I want to be on the train. I want to be on the bandwagon. I want them to win. But it's a big but. They got to show they can do it.
You know, this is what I don't get. And then we should end it, because I'm just going around in circles here. You have a game where the Bombers threw out a rookie last week. I don't know if you can call him a rookie, maybe from a game point of view. But, okay, they threw this guy into a situation, a must-win situation, regardless of how Hamilton is as a team. And you called this, like, miraculous win for the Blue Bombers. And you have a total team effort. And now you're backtracking.
I'm not discounting the effort. I just don't think they can string together 2 games like that. I think Hamilton is not the team that BC is.
And on paper, and everything is leading you to what prediction I was going to make, everything on paper says you're correct. But you know, games aren't played on paper. They're played in the field. All right? Just remember that. It's not what's on paper, really, that ends up counting in the end. And I'm going to say that David beats Goliath. Okay? Because when David gets going, Goliath is a little wimp. And I'll have nothing to see the Lions turn into the Pussycats on Friday. Meow. Okay? That's what I want him to say. Meow. Take the roar out of the Lions, and then to top it off, get the guy you fired like 20 years ago to put BC Sucks back on the board.
Well,
that's how I'm ending this. Yeah, well, that was a moment to see.
There you go. There's your line. You're the pussycat. All right, so there you have it. 42-18. You say Winnipeg wins. I say BC's going to come up big. I guess we'll see you next Saturday.
We'll see you next Saturday. Well, this Saturday, dude. Don't
oh yeah, coming up. Yes.
Don't jump ahead of us here. And anyway, to view other Big Blue recaps, you can visit www.sportmentary.com, and that's Sportmentary, SPORTMENTARY.com. Go to the Blue Bombers update page, and you can view some other recaps. Anyway, go Blue, go Blue. Restore the meow to the Lions, baby.